it's Sheila Keeney and Donna Azarian here. We are conservative activists in Eden Prairie, and right now we are behind our Eden Prairie City Hall off of Technology Drive, and we're going to take a drive today to show you the Eden Prairie Southwest Light Rail Line route through our city and how crazy it is. So on this part of town, this is where the station is going to be, on the other side of Technology Drive here. And Donna's going to start driving, and there's really nothing over here where the station's going to be. About a mile or two down the road away from where the station starts, there will be there's a city subsidized land deal that they're putting together with the county, this green mid-market neighborhood. But folks who live over there would have to take a bus or drive or walk, I suppose, to get over to this first light rail station. There's nothing over here besides our city hall government, which I don't know why on earth you'd need a light rail station there.
Well, the trees might want to go on light rail.
The trees might want to go on light rail. These are our beautiful, some of our beautiful trees.
Swamp too.
And there's a wetland. We have lots of wetlands. So we're driving here. So we've now left the station. We've officially left the first light rail station. We're driving down Technology Drive. Here's our first intersection. This is Mitchell and Technology Drive, and if you live in my quadrant of Eden Prairie is one big square with 4 quadrants, and I live on the southeast quadrant. This is the route we take to get to our high school, to get to Chanhassen, to get to any points west. We take this Mitchell Road to Highway 212 to get to points west because it avoids our hectic and congested Eden Prairie Center Mall area, which we're about to drive to. So now we're going through the light here, and if the light rail were here, it wouldn't have to go through any lights, so I suppose that would be a benefit. As you can there is not a ton of development. There's
the water treatment plant.
The water treatment plant. It's another government building. I don't think there's anybody living there.
MTS.
There's MTS, which is a corporate building, and then up here is our Optum campus. This used to be another private company. ADC, which is no longer here. We now have yet another office for Optum. I think I might be wrong here, but this is their HSA office, which of course with Obamacare we're not going to have HSAs much longer, so hopefully they stay in business. But notice that the light rail won't stop at this campus. It's going to keep going past this campus along Technology Drive, and it's going to bring you to our Southwest Station, which is our another tax-financed place where our buses stop here, where our public-private partnership of Southwest bus lines stops, which I take to get to the state fair, and a lot of people take to commute into Minneapolis. This was built some years back. Now you'll see we have these are very high-end, nice apartments, definitely not affordable housing in Eden Prairie.
Well, they are condos, yep.
They're condos. Those are condos, that's right. So, and we'll go right up here by Culver's. So we're entering now. This would be the first stop. These are, again, beautiful wetlands to our right that the light rail will run alongside. And we have to go a little bit out of our way here to make this left-hand turn into the first station stop. This has got to be one of the most poorly planned developments in Eden Prairie, this Southwest Station. It's popular, but if you try to come here at any time where you can get food, it is the most poorly designed parking lot.
You can't get parking
You can absolutely not get parking. It's a disaster. So I'll assume that the Met Council in all its infinite wisdom is going to build I don't know how they're going to build here with light rail. It will come in on the other side of this parking ramp, and why don't we go down by the bus station there? And again, so here's when you stop here, if you have a light rail stop here, you have Chipotle and you have Noodles and Company and all the various chain restaurants, Culver's, that are in any good suburb we have here in Eden Prairie, and I come here a lot with my family. But this is where you would catch the light rail. Incidentally, it's where you also can catch a bus today to downtown Minneapolis, an express bus that will get you to Minneapolis much more expressly than a light rail will with all of their stops. So this is the first stop. And Donna, do we know how many miles we've traveled from the...
1.3.
1.3 miles from the first stop to the second stop in Eden Prairie. 1.3 miles, and we've already got a stop. So definitely not a really silly form of commuting transportation mode.
It's a stop through mostly nothing.
It's a stop through mostly nothing. Again, there's restaurants here. You can't build near here because there's protected wetlands on this side of the light rail will come out of this station here. Now, this is Prairie Center Drive in Eden Prairie. It wraps all the way around the mall and connects 494 North to 494 South. Again, just a really poor government planning if you know Eden Prairie and our access to 494. But let me tell you something else. Down there, and the light rail is going to come right this way, that's Technology Drive in 212. That is the number 2 most accident-prone intersection in Eden Prairie in 2013. This way, which we're driving, okay, is going to be Prairie Center Drive and Singletree Lane, which is the number 1 most accidents in Eden Prairie, intersection with most accidents in Eden Prairie in 2013. So the light rail is becoming this route in between number 1 and number 2 of the highest amount of accident incidents in intersections in Eden Prairie. Almost some water tower apartments. These would be considered, I don't know if I believe there's some subsidized housing or quote unquote affordable housing in there, and then there's another batch of apartments. Okay, so the city planners and the government planners in their wisdom decided that it should come up this way.
And this is subsidized housing.
This is subsidized housing right here. Some subsidized housing. There's a Walmart to our right. Okay, and the light rail is going to come up this path. Luckily, we had a petition going so that it didn't go by Bobby and Steve's, which is up there. Bobby and Steve's expanded that location because they were asked by the city of Eden Prairie to do so, and then the city flirted with having a light rail go by there. It won't. It's going to go on this route, so it's going to divert away. And folks, here you have an Eden Prairie institution, Redstone. Redstone, my friends. This is where a lot of us like to hang out. And the light rail, my friends, is going to stop. Let me grab my Met Council map. It is going to stop. Hold on, where's the Redstone stop? Okay, it stops a little bit back behind Redstone, and we'll turn into here. Okay, and we are leaving the third stop area.
And that was 2.5 miles from our original destination.
2.5 miles from our original destination. So we've stopped again. 2.5 miles, we've stopped again. Like we said, there is some subsidized housing in this area, but not much. And, but there's Redstone, so that's good, I guess. We are now at Flying Cloud Drive, and this is actually Eden Road. We're a little off course because certainly the light rail in some places is not going to be exactly on the road, although in many places it is. And we're going to take a left onto Flying Cloud Drive, which picks up this route again, where light rail is going to be. Very busy road, Flying Cloud Drive.
There's no turning light here either.
And there's no turning light. They'll have to change that. And we're going to go over 494 here, which would be the path of our light rail train.
Right over 494, which means they're going to have to close this down.
It's going to be, the construction for this is going to be a total disaster for, I don't even know what net gain, because I can't figure out what this train achieves.
Well,
nothing.
They're going to have to close down 494, won't they, in order to get the train across this bridge, because there's going to be construction all around this area.
Good point, Donna. Will they have to close 494 to build the light rail over Flying Cloud Drive?
Oh, this is going to be a cluster,
It's bad. It's really bad. And so this is kind of how you get to the other side, if you will, of one of the other sides of Eden Prairie, and it's taking down Flying Cloud Drive. And again, you can see there's just, we're a suburb here. We don't have a lot of density.
And don't have a lot of
out here. Of course,
here.
They want density. There's hotels here. There's a bank here.
It's a little strip mall.
There's a little strip mall to our right here. Up ahead, that is a corporate building, although we've been able to rent space there as a Republican Party because it's sitting so empty because of our Obama economy. And now, folks, we are now at Flying Cloud and 212, which we talked about the most accidents in intersections in Eden Prairie. We've already crossed number 1, number 2. This is number 3. This is number 3, where the light rail is going to cross. And that's without a light rail. These are car accidents here in Eden Prairie. It's a very, very busy intersection. And again, this is how we would get to, how Eden Prairieites would get to Edina if we don't want to take 494.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or how we would get, this is how I go to downtown Minneapolis. We come this way.
Yep.
To take 62 to the crosstown to 35. So the light rail will have crossed there. Now it's obviously it's not going to be riding on Highway 212, but this is the route we're taking. It would be riding just to the, is that the south?
That way would be
south.
East
of 212 here. So we'll take this route and we'll pick you up at the next stop. Okay, we're turning this back on again, getting back on our route. This is, you probably can't see it, a big, large super value campus, but, you know, on Flying Cloud Drive, but the light rail isn't going to stop there. So, and then, you know, as you can see, there's just absolutely nothing out here. There's some, it's for sale, but I guess, you know, the central planners in all their wisdom believe that with the light rail, all this development will spur out here in our economy right now. I can't see how that will happen. But again, there's no light rail stop by Super Value.
Nope.
And so are people going to trek out, walk out in the middle of winter?
That should be fun.
That should be fun. Oh, gee, now look at right there. Isn't that some, there's our wonderful Southwest Metro Transit busing. There it is, folks.
Right
so
there.
It's already here. We're spending $1.8 billion on a light rail when we've got these buses that go the exact same route. It makes no sense. And these roads, this is never congested over here. There's nothing over here. So this side of 212 is, you know, to say that you need more speedy transportation. Of course, the light rail isn't speedier, but is pretty crazy. So now we're driving
through
the Golden Triangle area, which I think once upon a time it was a lot more golden. This is our industrial park. There's just a ton of for lease signs out here. A ton of office and warehouse space for sale out here. It's all, I mean, everywhere you look, every building, for lease, for lease, for lease. There's
look at that.
Openings here. I know. It's a little depressing. But this was kind of in Eden Prairie's big glory days. You know, this is when some of the industrial parks started booming. There's Mill End Fabrics. They're going out of business.
Space for lease.
They're going out of business, yeah. So that whole building will be for lease. And there's another for lease sign. And this is where, there's another for lease sign. This is,
I think the tags is around here.
This is where the light rail is going to come. And there's a Eden Prairie institution here, Tags Gymnastics, which has been in this metro area for decades and decades, and the light rail is going to stop right outside Tags Gymnastics.
Well, actually, I think I went a little bit I think it's that way a little bit more. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll edit it. This is fine because we're just showing what's out here. It's all an industrial park. So lease everywhere you can see.
Yeah. Here's Tags.
And here's Tags. Yeah. So this will be, the light rail stop's going to stop right near Tags Gymnastics. So in case you want to pay, you know, my girls have done Tags over the years. It's not inexpensive. But if you want to do gymnastics, you could take the light rail stop, I suppose, to Tags, because this is where it'll take you. Crazy. So we will pick you up on the next stop.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're picking up kind of the area where the last stop is, and this is the brand new, shiny, beautiful Optum United Healthcare building that's going on, and the train will bring you close to this building. So I think out of all of the large corporate buildings, this would be the one where you could actually get off and walk to work. Of course, there's just some kind of a lump in my throat because I think of Obamacare and what it will eventually be doing to Optum and other private companies for now. They'll either be, incorporated into the government and sort of become just administrators for our new socialized healthcare system. And so hopefully they'll survive. But so this would be the one place where the LRT would bring you. I might make the case if I were a lefty and I thought that light rail was a good idea, which I absolutely don't. I think it's a really stupid idea that is not forward thinking at all. But let's pretend for the sake of argument that I was. Then LRT should not need to come any further into Eden Prairie than right here, which would save you I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars, because to get to the stops then that go further into Eden Prairie, you're going to need to build some sort of, as we're looking at this map, overpass over Highway 212, which is going to be an enormous expense.
So you're going to interrupt traffic on 62-212. Right here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to interrupt traffic on 494.
Yeah.
This is going to be 3 years of construction.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
The lefties would argue that, it's all worth it, but again, you just can't make a case of bringing light rail further into Eden Prairie, as we showed you, where there's wetlands, where there's industrial park, where there's, just small restaurants, where there's very few apartment buildings. It's just, we are not populated enough. We're a suburb of 60,000 people, and the bureaucrats think it makes sense to build 5 light rail stations here. Some of them a mile, 1.2 miles apart, 2.5 miles apart. It makes absolutely no sense. And if you drive around Eden Prairie, we're not during rush hour right now. If it were during rush hour, this would be a lot busier. But in general, it's fairly easy to get around, except for our mall area, which is only going to be made worse, much, much, much worse.
Absolutely.
With light rail.
And then the point that you made earlier, Sheila, is that it goes by the 3 major accident intersections in Eden Prairie.
In the number 1, number 2, number 3 by Eden Prairie Police ranked most dangerous intersections in Eden Prairie, the light rail will cross. So there will be people that die. Sorry if that sounds dramatic, but it's just a matter of time. We know that light rail is more dangerous, more accident prone per mile driven or ridden than either bus or car. We know that to be fact via actually government research agencies, as quoted in Car and Driver in May of this year.
Right.
So that's our tour of Eden Prairie and the light. We've traversed over to Bloomington. How long did this take us? I don't know.
Oh, about 7 minutes.
7 minutes or so to get over to Bloomington. Oh, well, gee, we are crossing the light rail and the light is flashing. You better stop. You don't want to get killed.
No, okay. That would be ironic.
So let's look at the train, Donna. It is, it's 11 a.m. It's a Monday. It's a business day.
I can go, right? There's
you
no
can,
train track here.
Yeah, there's no train track here. It's coming. Gosh, that thing is so slow. Oh,
look, there's one person.
Okay, here is a light rail stop in Bloomington where our existing line is. There's one person at the stop. There she is. Okay, there she is. We don't want to. Okay, poor gal. Okay, and there's another guy on his bike right by that. Sir, that is not safe. Oh, woo! Woo! There it goes.
It's freaking 2 people, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Nobody on the
8 people on the train.
8 people.
And it passed the stop.
There's 8. We counted 8 people, ladies and gentlemen, on the train.
Oh,
I mean, it's not. I would laugh if this wasn't $1.8 billion of our tax money.
There's a guy chasing it.
There's a guy on his bike. He might hop on. Is he hopping on?
Oh, how convenient. You could take the bike.
That
right
is
on
cool.
the train.
That is slick. So he's taking his bike onto the train. I got to get this closer so we can actually see. And at that stop ahead, it appears to be one person got on the train. So now they have 10 people on. The guy with the bike got on, and the other guy who was standing there got on. I don't even know.